Imagine waking up 10 years from now, realizing you're in the same place, same job, same struggles, same regrets. The worst part, you had the potential to reach it all, but you never took action. I see this happen all the time. People say, oh, I will do this later, oh, I don't have time right now, and then later never ends up coming. But here's the truth. Achieving your goals isn't magic, it's a system, and if you don't have one, you'll stay stuck. You see, the reason you haven't been able to reach your goals is because nobody showed you how. Everything seems so complicated. Productivity hacks, planning. Where do you even start? Wouldn't it be easier if you had a map that could guide you each step of the way? Well, this is what I'm going to show you in this video. Using this 4-step framework will allow you to build your own map and reach your goal. No fluff, no nonsense, just a vehicle to get you from dreams to reality. So, let's get started. The first piece of the puzzle is gaining clarity over what it is that you want to accomplish. This first step is crucial and will serve as a foundation for all the steps that will follow. Because, well, you need to know where you need to go to be able to build a map. But how? By far the best way is through journaling. Journaling allows you to declutter your mind and think logically and analytically about the steps that you need to take to be able to get to your goals. I prefer to journal in the old-fashioned way with a pen and paper. In this step, you want to gain as much clarity as possible on what it is that you want and go really specific in narrowing down all the details involved in it. For example, instead of saying something like, I want to become a better programmer, you can frame it something along the lines of, I want to be a senior developer, or I want to be a CTO, or I want to be a technical lead and build meaningful products. Be specific, give a lot of details. The more details and the more clarity you have on what it is that you want, the better quality the map will end up being. According to this study, people that write down their goals are 42% more likely to reach those goals. Pretty insane, right? This means that if you simply write down your goals, you are 42% more likely to achieve them. You should start writing them down if you haven't already. Alright, now that we know what we want and we have seen how important writing down our goals is, it's time for step number 2, which is building the actual map. In this step, you want to take the goal that you previously outlined and start building a map. To be able to make the dream a reality, you need to break the goal down into small actionable steps. So coming back to our programming example, if for example previously you said you want to become a great senior software engineer, you can be asking yourself questions such as, well, what makes a great senior software engineer? And you can answer with something along the lines of, well, a great senior software engineer is able to build code that is easily understandable by the whole team, is stable, and is extendable. And then you can follow up with questions such as, well, what makes code easy to understand, stable, and extendable? And to that, you might answer something along the lines of, it's using good variable and function names, and it's using design patterns to ensure that code is stable and easily extendable in the future. And you pretty much use this method to go down the rabbit hole and pick out all the smallest actionable steps that you can take. You need to do this for all the steps involved in reaching your goals. By breaking down straight into the smallest actionable step, you essentially remove all the magic surrounding the concept and you turn it into something that is tangible. If you got clarity on the goal, but for whatever reason you're unable to answer the question, what makes a great senior software engineer, or whatever your goal is, then you should look up people that have already reached the goal and are sharing their experience on how they got there. This should give you a better understanding on what it is that you need to do to be able to reach the same status. Once you find someone that has taken the same path that you want to take, you need to crack down their answer and pretty much break it down to the smallest actionable step, like I've previously said. By the end of this step, you should have the exact qualities and skills required to be able to reach your goals. Which brings me to point number 3 in the video: taking action. Now that we have a map of the skills that we need to acquire and we were able to break it down into actionable steps, it's time to make a plan of action. Having your goals in a map like you have now doesn't really mean much if you don't take action on it. Without action, you have a dream, not a goal. To create this actionable plan, I like to take the goal that I want to reach in a year's time and break it down into quarterly chunks. I found that having 1 year to attain my goal is a way too long timeline, because I end up leaving everything for December as I have time. Working with stricter deadlines is super beneficial because you're able to see progress more quickly, and more wins equals more motivation. This makes you take more action, which in turn brings you closer to your goals. So what you want to do now is split the goal into chunks that you think you can finish in 1 quarter. Here you want to take the small actionable pieces that you found in the previous step. Think of it like plugging holes in a puzzle. Each actionable step is contributing to the bigger picture that you're completing. After you've established what you need to reach in each quarter of the year, it's time to move on to the next and final step in the framework, which is the 4th step: monitoring your progress. This step is pretty self-explanatory. You pretty much need to monitor your progress and make sure that you stick to the plan that you have built. This study, published in the American Psychology Association, claims that people that monitor their goals are way more likely to reach them. This, coupled with the previous study that I linked, which claims that writing down your goals make you 42% more likely to achieve them, should put you ahead of 90% of people already. The problem is monitoring your goals is boring. Yeah, I know. It was the same for me until I discovered this method. Tracking your goals is boring because you spend way too much time on it. Goal tracking should be quick, easy, and fun, because otherwise it will feel like a chore and it won't be sustainable. That's why once a week on Sunday I have what I like to call a review day. On this review day I like taking 10 to 15 minutes to pretty much go over what the previous week was like, what went good, what didn't go good, and how are my quarterly missions going, because that's how I like to refer to them. And on top of that, I also plan the week ahead. This process is quick and really effective because I'm able to reflect on the past week, and by seeing what went good, I'm getting this dopamine hit, seeing that I'm reaching the goals and I'm staying on track, and it makes me eager to continue. If I wasn't able to reach the targets that I set for that week, I can review what went wrong and what I can do better next time. Seeing yourself reach the targets that you set for yourself for that week is highly beneficial because it gives you that dopamine hit and extra motivation that you need to crush the week ahead. It's the best feedback reinforcement loop and you should abuse it. If you feel good when you do something, you're way more likely to repeat doing that thing. That's why it's so damn hard to stay away from your phone, but more on that in another video. Apart from the day when I have the weekly review, I built a routine which literally takes me 30 seconds, but is super efficient because it reminds me what the focus for that week is. I do this right when I sit at my laptop to start working. I open up my note-taking app and I have this page called Morning Stand Up, thank you Agile Methodologies, where I ask myself two questions. How are my weekly missions going? Here I usually place a thumbs up if everything is going good, or thumbs down if it's not going so good, and what that day's mission is going to be like. This process is so quick and efficient. As I said, it usually takes me 30 seconds, but it helps keep me on track and organized. And with that being said, this is it. This is the exact system that you need to hit your goals. Hopefully in this video I was able to demystify the goal setting process and give you some clarity on what it is that you need to be doing to reach your goals and start taking action today. In this video we went over gaining clarity over what it is that you want, breaking the goal down to small actionable steps to make taking action as effortless as possible, creating a shorter timeline to set some urgency about the goals to make it even easier to take action, and last but not least, monitor your progress so that you don't forget the goals that you set and you can keep yourself accountable. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, and comment if you have any suggestions or you have anything to say about the video. And if you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing. This was Kristen. Until next time, peace.